As fighting escalates between Syrian rebels and government forces, U.S. officials are considering how to proceed if President Bashar al-Assad should fall. State Department spokeswoman Victoria Nuland.
There's going to have to be an interim authority until we can get to elections there, and that all of our support needs to go into that. And also that there's going to have to be some kind of a transitional security arrangement that all the parties in Syria are also going to have to think about assuring the safety of all of the citizens of Syria in the transition period.
U.S. officials are especially concerned about safeguarding Syria's chemical weapons. Damascus has threatened to use them against foreign invaders, prompting a warning from U.S. President Barack Obama.
Given the regime's stockpiles of chemical weapons, we will continue to make it clear to Assad and those around him that the world is watching and that they will be held accountable by the international community and the United States should they make the tragic mistake of using those weapons.
The U.S. has resisted calls to give weapons to the Syrian rebels, but is providing communications equipment. Analysts say it is time for the U.S. to help improve the rebels' effectiveness in combat. Stephen Hademan is an expert on Syria at the U.S. Institute of Peace.
The longer this conflict continues, the more likely the deepening and growth of extremism becomes. And that adds an additional incentive for a U.S. posture that shortens the time horizon.
More than 100,000 refugees have fled the fighting, prompting the U.S. to step up consultations with Syria's neighbors. The Central Intelligence Agency is expanding efforts to gather information on the rebels. U.S. officials want to make sure arms from foreign nations are not supplied to any fighters linked to al-Qaeda. But analysts say no one controls the current situation. Analyst Stephen Hademan calls it a free-for-all.
And I think that is a very dangerous trend. It's one I think it would be very worthwhile for the U.S. to invest a great deal more in trying to manage.
Opposition groups are urging the U.S. to help set up safe havens inside Syria. Radwan Zieda is with the Syrian National Council.
The safety zone inside the Syrian territories, this is a priority for the Syrians right now. No one is calling or asking for troops or boots on the ground. No one is asking for military intervention.
U.S. officials say such safe havens would give the Syrian opposition a base for further action against the Syrian government. Meredith Buel, VOA News, Washington.
تتعرض له مدينة حمص المحاصرة حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل